So are Smashburgers one of the big scams in the food industry, or is it just one of the best ways you can make a consistently good burger? Now, I've seen this kind of comment about Smashburgers so many times, and I get why at face value this seems like you're getting less beef at a higher price, but that's just genuinely not the case. See, most Smashburgers sit at around 3 ounces per patty, and even though I like to aim for 3.5 to 4 ounces myself, a 3-ounce beef patty is perfectly fine. So when this type of burger gets served up as a double, it's anywhere from 1/3 of a pound all the way up to 1/2 pound of beef. And let's face it, you shouldn't be getting a single patty on a Smashburger anyway. So if that's what you're basing your claim off of when you say it's a scam, it just doesn't make sense. Now, if you do absolutely insist on that thicker pub-style burger being better, there is something I really think you should try that kind of gives you the best of both worlds. So you're gonna start off with about 6 to 8 ounces of beef for the burger patty, and then we're gonna form it into a ball like we would for a Smashburger, but just a little bit bigger. Now there's obviously a pretty big size difference here, but trust me, even for these big pub-style burgers, making them this way and then smashing them is a game changer. And when it's time to cook these up, we're actually gonna use our burger smasher, which is conveniently the same size as a burger patty. And we're just gonna press the larger beef ball down and smash it until you see that the beef is spread all the way out to the size of your smasher. Now, one of the big differences here is we're gonna season both sides of the beef when the patties are this big. That way we don't end up with an under-seasoned burger. And the other big difference is the cook time. And I like to let this cook for about 90 seconds before I flip it over and season that beautiful crust we got on the first side. Then we're gonna place down our sliced American cheese along with our potato bun, and we're gonna let this start to melt and steam while the burger cooks for another 90 seconds or so. Now, after the burger hits the internal temp you're looking for, it's time to pull it off the griddle and let it rest a few minutes while we cook up the Smashburger. And even though Smashburgers are definitely my preference, one of the big things people say against them is they just aren't as juicy, and when you press them down, you're squeezing out all the juice, which honestly just isn't how that works. See, when you smash the burger, it's not like you see any juice pouring out onto the cooktop. Now, you will see the fat start to render as the beef cooks, but that's always gonna happen regardless of how you cook the burger. These are only gonna need about 90 seconds max. And then we're gonna flip them over and get them topped off with some American cheese, as well as the potato bun so that can steam. Then after about 30 seconds, the cheese should be melted, and all we have to do now is stack these up so we can put these burgers together. And if you're familiar with a lot of my burger recipes, then you know I'm definitely a fan of making sure the toppings stand out. And all we're gonna use for toppings are some yellow mustard, some diced white onion, and a few dill pickles on the bottom. Then we can place the top half of our burger down, and then we're all set to give this one a try. And because I wanna see how that thicker burger holds up against a classic Smashburger, we're gonna keep the toppings exactly the same. And now our classic Smashburger is ready to go, so we can give that one a try as well. And even though I already know which one of these burgers I'm gonna prefer, it's always worth testing. And I definitely recommend that you do this kind of testing at home for yourself. Now, first up is the burger with a larger patty, and it looks really good. And all that's left to do now is give it a try. Cheers. Okay, that's really good. The difference when you cook it that way is insane. Okay, first off, I would never be upset if someone served me this burger. I mean, it tastes really good. But I am missing that deep caramelized crust and those crispy edges that make a Smashburger so good. And if you're one of the people who are completely against Smashburgers, even though I don't agree, you should definitely try this method because it honestly gives you the best of both worlds. And on that note, let's try the Smashburger. It's just not even fair. I mean, this has just as much beef, if not more, but all that extra caramelization just makes it taste so much better. I just think it's really hard to beat the sear and flavor you get from making a classic style Smashburger. Plus, you're gonna save so much time when you're making them, and that is always a good thing. And if you like these kind of videos where I test different burger myths and recipes, make sure you like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one.